Hello, guys. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Mali Traders. This is the Mali team here, and today we'll be doing what I would call a general analysis. Let's see where we are, let's see where we've been, and potentially where we're going. So, as you know, crypto been pumping and dumping. That's what it does. Okay, so let's start from here. Now, the general sentiment lately have been Bitcoin to I didn't see 60K, but okay, here we go. 100K. You start seeing all this ridiculous amount and levels being drawn or being analyzed by certain by crypto YouTubers, and I don't know. Um, Last week or last 2 weeks, somebody was saying that same week Bitcoin was going to, I think he said 60K, 65K. Uh, so I don't know what these guys are smoking on or what they're watching or however. It doesn't really matter because whether or not they believe it's going there is irrelevant to the fact of why they're doing it, which is you have to click and you have to watch and then, yeah, monetization or whatever. Okay, no hating. I mean, they probably have a reason for that. That is not the point. I just wanted to point that out to you guys, my audience, that don't FOMO and don't always believe what you see or what you hear on this YouTube. Okay, a lot of the income by these crypto YouTubers or traders in general are not necessarily from trading. I can tell you that for a fact. It is from things like this, views and affiliation. Okay, yeah, I fell for things like this way back. I mean, it's last year, last 2 years. Okay, so guys, be careful out there. Now let's dive into the chart and see what we can see. All right, shitcoins now. Let's start from Bitcoin. Okay, so let's just start from this. For example, let's take a step back. I'm not a big multi-years time frame analysis telling you what we did 4 years ago, and I know I don't do that. I'll go to the weekly, daily, and I'll take it from there. All right. Okay, so just looking at this, obviously we can see a potential trend reversal here. I mean, we've been down for heaven knows how long this has been going on. So this is an obvious bearish market. Now we're on the weekly time frame, okay? So we're like macro, extreme macro if you like. And if you do it like this, you don't have to do it like that, but you can say that the trend or rather structure seem to have changed. But that's not the first time it's happening though. I mean, this was a bearish market and then went up and then just to go into a long time bear market. Here, I guess people were it's this at this point people were screaming we're going to take out this high, new all-time high, whatever it is they were screaming here. I don't know. Uh, so this was a retracement and even a deeper fall. All right. Okay. Regardless of that, that doesn't take away the fact that we've had or experienced multiple market structure shifts and all the goodies here. So it's safe to say that we do have a good reason to think that we're going to the moon. So on that ground, I'm not necessarily blaming these monkey moon boys. All right. Um, but that doesn't mean that that is what is going to happen right now as we're watching this. Because just looking at this, I can see tons of liquidity. Some SMC traders call this trend line liquidity. You know, yeah, I think I still have. Yeah, they call this trend line liquidity, whereby on this buy side curve, they just say, okay, there's a lot of liquidity there, blah blah blah. I don't really use trend line liquidity that much, but so um yeah, so the trend is your friend until it's not. That's what they say in crypto, or on trading rather. So just looking at this, we can see this is being respected. Now, I don't trade trend line, I don't do trend line, I don't trade pattern, but I'm just trying to illustrate or rather emphasize the fact that we are in a rather bullish trend. Okay, so as long as we are in that trend, the potential for the upside is higher. So what Bitcoin is doing here is in a crab market, in other words, sideways ranging market. So this is a ranging market, just like it did here and then before the upside. However, what people are not taking into consideration is this, and this is why I want to draw your attention to. Remember, we're seeing a weekly time frame. So right here, people were already screaming, we're going to, I think 60K, 65, no, was it 65K? Yeah, I had all ridiculous. I had 36 at least. That would be here. So somebody was saying that we're going to this, where's 36? Yeah, you must have heard all the crazy amount. Let's just say people were screaming, okay, we're going here around, yeah, at least let me just say 36. We're going here, and people were screaming, we're going here. Now, as you can see, people are already shouting 100K, 200K. Are we gonna get there someday? Possibly. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, most eventually, I think so. But are we gonna get there right now? I don't think so. Is it possible? Yeah, it's crypto. Anything is possible. It's Wild West. All right. What can I say? However, this is what I this is what I have a problem with. Don't start screaming 50K, 100K all-time high bull market if you don't understand liquidity and if you don't understand price action and how it moves. Okay, just look at this move. You have to remember, before any decent move to the upside or rather to the any direction, the opposing liquidity has to be grabbed, it has to be pushed. 90%, so at least 80% of the time it is like that. It go, in other words, like a Judah swing low or Judah swing high for the downside and Judah swing low for the upside. Similar thing like what happened here. This is a good example of that. So anybody that was trading this, which we did, I will show you in a moment. So it's enough to just measure from discount, premium to discount. Okay, you see your PDA here, which is your weekly BC right here. Trade into it, take out CSR liquidity, and up move. Why are you so confident that this is going to happen? Because this is your drawn liquidity, which is the daily order block, right? And this daily fair value gap, which is a CB right here on the opposing side. So it's going to draw to the opposing liquidity, but before I do that, it's going to take the CSR liquidity and come into your buy side, your sell side PDA, which is in this level. So we take out this liquidity and then it pumped. And if you go to the daily, it's even more pronounced. So you see exactly what it did here. Okay, so this is what Bitcoin did before accelerating upwards. So at this particular time, so we had CSR liquidity right there. Okay, remember this was the premium and premium versus discount zone. Okay, let's just put it there. So let me move this. We're in an uptrend. So it came back here, take this, and off it went, respecting the trend. Now, why people screaming we're going to the moon already? I'm thinking yes, it's possible. However, are we going there right now? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know for sure. Nobody knows for certain. Absolutely. But what I see is, or rather what I'm anticipating rather, is the possibility of this same move happening, repeating itself. We are bullish, no doubt about that. The weekly testifies to that, the daily, and basically all the time frame is aligning with it. Okay, So is it, how likely is it that we're going to do the same thing? Highly likely, in my opinion. And if, now this is probably a bold statement, however, this is how I think. If we are to do it and really do it, the right way, it's nothing bad about this happening. So this, now I'm just taking the extreme here. Sell side, the swing low to the swing high, right there. The swing high was around 31K or something like that, right? Okay, we're at 31K. So you measure it from the swing low, which was 19. Yeah, feels like ages ago. Damn. To the swing high, and then let's mark out our discount area. So this is we have to note all the PDAs in a discount zone. Here we can see we have, what do we have here? We have just below, just at the border, we have an order block. Okay, right there. This is an order block. Okay, so and then we have a BC and then another one right here. So what I will be looking at is I might not be expecting price to come. What is it? I am not expecting price to come all the way here before going up, because it's the trend. Sorry, the trend is kind of strong. So what would I be expecting? Potentially, what my eye is looking at is this inside this order block, or slightly deeper into this point. Go up, fair value gap, and then do your thing, consolidate, and then go for whatever level these moon boys are yelling. Why am I particularly keen about this area? I've been saying it 22, 23. I got my eyes there. Why? It's simple. We have a balance PPR here. Okay. We got a fair value gap, a set side, a CB, set side balance, buy side inefficiency, and we have the opposite on the other side. Okay. We have a CB and a BC. All right. Opposing each other. So we refer to that as a balanced price range. Okay. So I'm expecting price to potentially dive back into this zone. And for them retail traders out there, this will also tally with your trend line. You guys that like trend lines. So you can go do your thing. You're welcome. So if you see the confluence here already, and I think there is some fib thingy. First, let me pull my fib. So if I pull my fib, ICT fib, this is smart money fib, I call it. So this is Mali way, okay? This is the only way for us. This is how we do it. So we got an OT right there. Nope. So right here, already you can say just putting things up. We're not making shit up. We're just like showing you what is there already. So So if this repeats itself, this is where it should happen. If we do the same thing here, let's see what we see. Oh no, not that. Sorry. So if we pull it from here, gosh, what's wrong with me today? And here, you can see that the same thing, the exact same thing happened. It dove back, or rather down. It took out this other block down. It came right into this balanced price range. You can see we have a CB and a BC right here opposing each other. Okay, so this was the, let me call it, balanced price range. All right, so if you clone it, you just take it here and then just to show you what happened initially. So you let me know if this is making sense to you. Okay, just please post your comment on the comment section below if this is making sense to you. And by the way, full disclosure, this is not a financial advice. I have to remember to keep saying it. This is not a financial advice. Okay, I'm an entertainer, an educator. Okay, I'm trying to teach people, tell people, or rather interpret the charts in my own way. Okay, I'm not saying you have to take trade from here or do anything. You do that, you do it at your own cost. And if you want to know more about what we do and how we do it, you just have to come to our Discord. Follow us on Twitter, and then come to our Discord. We show everything, exactly what we're doing, and yeah, all questions gets answered. All, it doesn't matter what it is. So these are like student, and then just post your question, it gets answered. And then we have a mentorship going on, and we have yeah, basically we're helping people understand ICT and SMC in general. Okay, guys. Okay, back to what we're doing. I digress. So you see, as you can see, rather, the same thing that happened here is what I'm mapping out for you here. Okay. So, oh no, what did I press? Yeah, fat fingers. Okay, so that is what I am currently looking at. Now I'm just gonna have to put that up. I'm gonna draw it out later for my groups, for my group. So, so that is for Bitcoin. And if you want to, or rather, I will advise you to just go and mark out your PDS and upside and the downside, just like I did it before. So if you take the swing high to the swing low, and then you can see above here, which is the premium zone. On the weekly, starting from the weekly, you got your CB here, and you have your order block, which is what is currently keeping price. This is your order block in case you don't know. This is your weekly order block. That is what's currently keeping price. Okay, so price is now consolidating around that order block below it. So if we break this order block on the weekly time frame, and then potentially see up here, okay, then we still have this gap to be filled. So possibly this is where it's gonna repair price, for the same reason that if you look here, this is a significant point in my opinion. Okay, so according to ICT, multiple consecutive candle in a row is another block. So this will be, I guess this will be referred to as one order block on the weekly time frame. Yeah, if you can see it like that. So yeah, that is that. And beside, this is a structural point, or I'll call it structural point of interest. Yep. Once you come to the daily, things become slightly more nuanced or more obvious. So this again boils down to that 36, 37K. So if we break this area, this is what we'll be looking at. So this will be a good shorting opportunity for those who wants to short. You have to do your own analysis and make your own informed decision after that. All right. Okay, so I think this is enough for this analysis. Now I have to go to something else. So going back, same Bitcoin. So let's see here. So similar to what I was showing you guys before, this is an old analysis I did for my group, or we did on this weekly time frame. Why this was dipping down, we know this is going to, we trade, like I said, we traded this move. Why? Because we have this weekly breaker. It's a low, a high, a low, a low, and then we got a balanced price range, CB and a BC, all lining up. Market social break, shift, everything was just like okay, telling us, especially when we'll be taking our sell side here heavily, and then we've been way oversold. I don't need to pull up RSI or those retail indicators to show you that this is a divergence. All right, there was a heavy divergence here on the weekly time frame. I don't need to do that. Heavily sell side was taken out here. There was a reason this low didn't take out this low, because they were building liquidity, and then they took you up to take you down and then to take you up again. That is how smart money roll. You understand? And our job as Mali traders, SMC, ICT Mali traders, we interpret these moves. Okay? So this is what we do. And all ICT, the good ICT student, this is not unique to us, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be braggadocious here. There are good ICT and SMC traders out there. Love them. Respect them all. Um, However, what I'm saying here in essence is that you have to identify liquidity. The minute you don't identify your liquidity, you become the liquidity. Just like you are being a liquidity to these guys on YouTube. So if you're watching my video and you're not really getting anything beneficial from it, stop watching it and don't come back. I'm not doing this for money. I'm trying to educate people. I'm not going to call something to you and put up a ridiculous, what the fuck is it? Sorry, for swearing. Ridiculous thumbnail and clickbait and make my face like a, I don't even, there's no word for it. Okay, it's just so you can click on it because you are hungry. That is the point. You are hungry for information. You do not trust yourself enough to make this assessment, so you look for people who are potentially way better than you. Does it mean that these guys are right? No. Do they themselves know that they are right? It doesn't matter. They need liquidity, and your click is the liquidity. All right? Try to understand that. The same way that the same principle, or rather the same line of thought is what I apply to identify your liquidity on the chart, or identifying your liquidity on the chart. So on this low, let's put it back here. You will think, okay, okay, we took out this low. Could it reverse? Yeah, it could. It could. But you have to be aware of this. And then you have to be aware of what is behind here also. All right? This is an order block on this side. Okay? So being aware of what happened here, and then being aware of what happened here, you just look for the confluence. Okay, if we dip down, what's going to happen? We've already been way oversold. So it's going to look for the opposing liquidity, which is on the buy side, right? So once this happen, we take our liquidity here. Okay, let me just, in case you don't, I'm just going to put a liquidity grab. Yeah, so it paused it right here. And then it went up. This high was taken out. And then we had a market structure shift here. So once that happened, once we were able to identify, it was obvious, this market structure shift or market structure break, or however you want to quantify or qualify that, we knew, okay, liquidity was here, and then further liquidity was here. So is it possible that this is just going to reverse to come all the way down here and go to all-time low, or go to the abyss? Yeah, it's crypto. Anything is possible. It's Wild Wild West, like I said. But if it doesn't happen like that, where are your PDAs on the discount zone? Towards this area. So let's see what we see. So this is exactly how we played it. All right. Remember, we already identified this breaker. Okay. I might not come back to this weekly time frame again. So let's go to the daily. Well, was it this one? No, that is the recent one. This one. So this is exactly how I broke it down for my homies. Okay. So weekly level and breaker. So that was it here. And then I said perfect rejection from the weekly breaker. right here. Although it dove down, there's no worries. At least the bulk of the candle, God bless our city, the bulk of the candles is inside the breaker or inside an order block, if you like, if it's an order block, okay? And then we just went off from there. See, the same thing I was outlining before without my annotation is exactly what I annotated. This is an old analysis, okay? This was just when this was going to play out. And then we broke this structural uh, level here, and then off we go. So, like I was saying before, if I'm expecting anything, the least, if we don't come down to this discount zone here, if we do not come down here, this is where I'm looking to long. This is where I'm looking for, like, okay, potential swing long, if you like, right? This is a perfect one for me, but we might still not get all the way there. I mean, we could do this. We just meander around and then come inside this place and moon. Okay, it's possible. Whether or not it's possible is, or whether or not it's going to play like that, is not that relevant. What I am anticipating is what matters. I am not fighting to be right. That is not the point. I don't have to be right. So the two things I'm taking note of here is remove this. The two things I'm taking note of here is this BC right here, and then the consequent encroachment of this week, which will be how you measure consequent encroachment is you use this GAN box thingy, and then you just customize it. You know, if you don't know how this works, go back to my old videos or come to the Discord. We teach these things. It's easy. Some people use the main fib thingy, but this is what I use my GAN box for. Okay, that. So again, back to, you just take that. This is how you measure the consequent encroachment from the beginning of the week to the tip. Okay, and then you just do it. So right here we can see that we have to disable the magnet. So we have the CE there, just by the fair value gap, which is the BC, and above, or rather below, a heavy area of liquidity. Okay, so by liquidity I mean all these lows, guys, all these lows. Okay, so this will be a perfect, where's my sensor? Yeah, right there. Okay, so if I take this off just so you can see it plainly, so this is what I'm anticipating, and this is why I am thinking, to me this is a high probability setup. So if it makes sense to you the way I'm analyzing it, please like and share and subscribe. Wow, I sound like a YouTube pro right now. Share, like, and subscribe. All right, guys. Hey, regardless what, man, do your thing. Okay. This is just I'm having a blast here. I'm entertaining myself. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. I said that a million and one times now. Whatever. This is what I'm thinking. Okay, you should do this. If not, potentially do this, like I said before. Okay. Yeah. Now let's go back to what I was doing initially. So this is how we traded it. We got this move, and now I'm calling for a similar setup again. I was announcing to my group weekly candle above this area, and then you can pause it and then read what I was talking about here, and then but this is old news. However, again, what I just analyzed before, this is what we have here. The same thing. We're having this is the optimal trade entry zone. If we take this, take it up there. So mark these levels out on your chart. Okay, we have a breaker OT in here. Okay, and we have a balanced price range. We have this. You can just let me do it for you if you don't know how to do it yourself. So what we're doing right now, we're kind of like stacking. We want to see how many PDAs we can fit in one area. Okay, this is like the nesting effect of this whole stacking is what makes the area a high probability reversal zone. Okay, what do I mean by that? We're expecting that if first of all, if Bitcoin is to respect the order flow and the whole movement as it's supposed to be, if it's to happen like that, this is the initial zone I outlined before, right here. Take out the sell side, tap into the buy side imbalance here, the sell side liquidity, buy side meaning that buy side was offered, but for it to be balanced, it needs to be traded into. Okay, so it's lacking sell side. All right, so sell side was inefficiently delivered. It was mostly buy side, meaning the bulls, using the retail terminology here, the bulls were just buying, buying, buying. Or rather, in the real terms, the algorithm was just pulling to the buy side. Okay, now it has to balance that move by coming lower, delivering sell side. Okay, that is why it's called buy side imbalance, because the imbalance is on the buy side. And then in a situation like this, okay, in a situation like this, it's going to be sell side imbalance. So here it delivered too fast, so it has to be balanced. All right, it has to be balanced by buy side. So here it delivered too fast, it has to be counterbalanced, if you like, by sell side. Sell side imbalance, buy side imbalance. Capito? Muy bien. Okay, so this is my first zone, and then this is my second zone. Heaven bless me. If price comes here, this is a very good buy, assuming that the whole thing, China hasn't invaded any other country yet, or any country has. Oh, what am I saying? I shouldn't be saying things like that. There is no war or some global catastrophic event that is going to happen, which is one of the reasons, in my opinion, that the market is afraid right now. Okay, so now this is going too long here. So this is what I'm expecting. So now, again, back to that, we are doing. We have the balanced price range right here. And then we have the breaker right there. Okay, all inside ultimate inside OT ultimate entry zone, right there, OT. Okay, all right, guys. So that is what you should be keeping your eye on, or rather, that is what I am keeping my eye on. And for the buy side, well, I'm waiting for this buy side to be taken if it gets there. Okay, and then these are my PDAs, higher time frame PDAs. These are my PDAs on the buy side where I expect potential uh what is it called now, shorting opportunity. So everything is being laid out there. So this is how I make my analysis. I don't have to make a video and post it on YouTube every time there's a little Bitcoin boner. All right, so every time there's a little Bitcoin boner, and then, oh yeah, I'm going to the moon. No, you're not, Carl. So so going forward, this is what I'm expecting. And I mean, look at where we were. We were just doing this whipsawing, like zigzagging here, waiting. you can I don't trade this. This is sideways. This thing is kind of weird. Yeah, you can do some scalping on the tiny micro time frames. However, it's not really my favorite environment to be trading at. Okay. Yeah, that's for that. And then let me close this. Yeah, this is what I was playing with earlier, just before I started this video. I mean, actually, I actually got wrecked on this move, but I lost like $30. Wow, my life is ending. I lost $30. I was just telling my guys from in the Discord. So this is what happened. I was playing retail, just yeah. When I'm oh my goodness, when I'm bored, I sometimes do that, just trying to see what retail are up to. So this was what was happening, guys. I just have to say this, and actually it's a reminder to myself and my Mali people. Don't One of the reasons why I lose money in trading is because I don't have patience. And this yes, it happens to the best of us. Personally, I don't have patience. By patience I mean I didn't analyze these charts properly. And one of my rule is this: if an OT zone, okay, if if a retail pattern forms, okay, this goes into my own hybrid mentality that I use in trading sometimes. By hybrid mentality means that I take some part of the retail uh, mindset or retail approach and mend it with my ICT strat. Okay, and one of the reasons is because this right here, this is what we refer to as advanced market structure. If you don't know what advanced market structure is, it's kind of complicated. Go to episode 12 or ICT video, ICT 2022 mentorship. I think it's episode 12. I believe so. That talks about advanced market structure. I remember it by heart because yeah, it was a wide one. So it's where you know the hierarchy of the highs and the lows, intermediate term high and short term lows and all that. Point is, basically, I was drawing this. I think I was having a session yesterday with one of our students. I think that was yeah, we were doing this analysis. So I was showing him something. So what happened here was Bitcoin was going to moon. So if there is an ultimate, if there is an OT, okay. So this is what happened. Gosh, Jojo. Okay, this is an OT and then an order block together in the same place. There's an order block here. This doji or candle, tiny candle thingy in there. This one, this indecisive candle and an OT close to each other when sell side has been taken out and it's just we already had one fake out. I shouldn't be shorting. So this is a rule of mine, among some other rules. So I should have ignored this trade, but I just saw more sell side liquidity that has to be taken. So I shorted on this place and then it went um, against me. So that is what happened there. So you can just learn something from that lesson if you like. If not, good luck. So that is that. And what else? Yeah, we already analyzed that. Um, okay, that is Bitcoin. And guys, you have to see this. This is Ethereum, and if we go here, okay, guys. So On this day, this is just another thing that we did. Where is it? I think. Oh, okay, I'm just going to go through this a little bit just so you understand. You have a brief overview of how we trade. Okay, so on this day, which was 10th of March, this was an analysis that we posted in our group and see how it reacted. So these were the areas we were looking at potential reversal from. Remember what I was doing with Bitcoin before. Remember how I used the stacking effect, the nesting effect, and stacked on top of each other, and then we place a hierarchy on that level, how strong it's going to be. Okay, some people call it confluence, but when you stack, that is where you get your confluences from. Okay, and then we got this. It was strong, and then it reversed. Off you go with that. Okay, so that is one, and then we have not that. This is another one. Okay, so just bear with me here. Let's go to the 4 hour time frame. So on this day, it was posted somewhere in our Discord. Um, if we go somewhere in our Discord where we have levels posted, and this is what I posted, or rather, what me and my crew what we posted. And if you see how it played out, exactly, it came here, touched it. You see what happened after that. The same velocity we went up, the same velocity we went down, and now we are in this crab market. Crab is like range, okay? So I use the word interchangeably. Sideways market, crabby market. We were like, okay, indecisive and whatnot. Uh, so that's how we did that. And remember, the same thing, the same thing we did here. Okay, so we mark out this level, and then it rejected from the upper one, from the daily consequent encroachment of the daily level. Okay, so we do not have a reason, or rather we don't like when you see a tiny boner and off you go, stretch, we're going to the moon. No, we make video when we think we have something to say. All right, so that sets us apart from all them monkey boys on YouTube. No offense to the monkeys, the real monkeys. Comparing some YouTubers with real monkeys is an insult to the monkey race, in my opinion. So even after that has delivered, you can still see how the level was still respected. So this is an analysis we made. I think I made this where around middle of April, around this point. That was when these levels were all drawn out. And then price respected it. This is what we call sniper entry. You must have heard of that phrase. I didn't come up with it. So again, we came around there, we took out all the sell side, and then now we're doing this. So is it possible that Ethereum is going to do a similar thing like Bitcoin did? Now we're on a 4 hour time frame. Let's go to the daily. That is going to do that, and then we have sell side here. We have sell side everywhere. Okay, so you just have to, but be careful though. I think we already deep down into discount. We already deep down. We are deep inside discount here. Okay, so we're already at yeah, below the discount. We are in the discount of the discount zone. Okay, so that is something else you can learn from that. Um, Probably be hearing about funny levels like inversion levels and candles and whatnot from ICT, and then so you can develop on that. So if we take it from here, we're already in here, okay? And if you take it and you just put it here, and I don't know how you're gonna measure that, but let's say we take it from here. Why am I taking this low? Because, and not this low, because this low is the low, it is the major low, just like this low is the major low, or rather this low, okay? These are heavy swing levels. What I mean by heavy swing, because they make a heavy move. You see the acceleration, you see the acceleration, okay? This one, you see the acceleration down. So you have to think about the velocity of the move. You know, the violence is just shot up here. It's like shooting a rocket or something, and then it just boom, it just keep going. All right. So in when I'm making a more broader analysis like this, I like to use a critical zone. All right. So if we're using this to this, then as you can already see, we have a similar thing, just like the other Bitcoin analysis I did before. We have a balance area here. Remember what I said, what balance area is? It has been delivered on the opposite side. Tiny bit nonetheless, but still something. Tapped into it there though, but it still has some tiny winnie over there. So, and then we have sell side, although this sell side arguably has been taken by this candle. So these are my doll, I mean draw on liquidity, sell side. All right, and then for the buy side, I'm looking at this fair value gap, and that for this continuation of this move, and potentially up here we have this other block right up here, and above that we have some CB, and that's it for Ethereum. Okay, I don't trade shit coins that much, but there's only much to say about shit coins, or you shit coiners. uh, Choose a random compound. What's it doing? I don't know. I don't trade shitcoins that much, but there you go. It's doing something. Okay. So let's go to the traditional market, the legacy market, the market movers. All right. So let's start with dollar. So before I went on vacation, I was telling people that dollar is going to consolidate. I didn't say it because I didn't make it happen. That's what I mean. But my analysis suggests that, okay, we were expecting to tap down into this. Let's start from the weekly time frame so you have a better understanding. So this trend was explosive, and then we started coming down. So the bias was like, oh, we an explosive downtrend. Okay, so the bias was like, we are in a trending market. Remember, if you haven't watched my bias video, by the way, guys, some of these videos are not posted, especially the educational video. Not all of them is posted on YouTube. My priority, or rather my loyalty, first of all, goes to my community, my Discord. Okay, so there are things I don't have time to put here, because once I do this, I have to edit, I have to do all kinds of thumbnail and whatnot. uh, so it takes some time, it takes so much time, and besides, I'm an educator. Okay, so there are videos that you don't have access to that you can find on my Discord. Anyway, something like this, I had we were in a trending market, a bearish trend, and then we had this rally up. Okay, cool. We're not going to the moon here. um, but was it possible? Yeah. Why? Because we took out this significant long-term low, okay, right here, and then we tapped into, was a, yeah, a daily fair value gap, BC right here. Okay, so I posted something, I think a couple of days ago, where I was asking how low could the dollar go. I don't remember. Yeah, something like this. Okay, We posted it on Twitter, and then the elephant in the room. Okay, the dollar. Now the buzzword is de-dollarization and the power shift to the east or whatnot. Third World War, some war coming up, something, and so everybody's afraid the dollar is going to lose its global dominance and monetary value and whatnot. Is it possible? I don't know. I'm not an expert in that. What I do know is that this trend was strong and this trend low is kind of strong. So if this is to continue lower, how low could it go? So that is what I meant by the elephant in the room. How low could the dollar go? So I pointed this out. We have this significant low here, and then we have this low, and then we have this low. All right. Now this is some kind of doomsday scenario. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. Don't really care much about it. So I posted that out just to see what people think. So guys, please put your comments in the comment section below and let me know because I'm dying to know. So before price touches this place, or before price touches this place, we were already looking at this area. So this is what I mean by being aware of your PDAs. Being aware. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing. It's not doing that much. Being aware of your PDAs. So here, measure. This is why I like measuring from a broader space. Like taking, if you see what I did before with Ethereum and Bitcoin, I was taking the main swings, okay, the long-term swing points, okay. This is one of them. Arguably here, yeah, preferably here, but this is the main one. Continuation of this, although arguably this is the one that started the entire move, okay. But when it retraces, you can pull, or rather I like to pull from the point of the retracement, the main retracement. So I wasn't going to take this low. First of all, it's not a swing low, so this is a main swing low. There is a swing low here, but I'd rather take this one, okay. It sticks out more, and then it makes things easier for me. So taking from this low, we tap into the discount zone, and even if you take it from here, you can see, of course, still in the discount zone. So I know we've been way oversold, and if it comes into the discount zone, if you take it from here, so these are just little perks of how I sometimes do my analysis. Okay, this is not from ICT. ICT didn't teach me this. I'm just using common sense and what has worked for me. So I try to measure the discount from the discount. Okay, and if I got a double discount inside a discount, I'm just good. So there you go. You're welcome. Point is, it tapped. We're looking for this low to be chopped. It did, and then we retraced. And then I was looking for this area to be tapped into again. Hence, this analysis. It's called macro bearish draw on liquidity. Okay. So it played out twice. It played out here. It played out here again. And now we are consolidating. Remember, we're still on the weekly time frame. So this is a weekly macro stuff right here. So everything was outlined. There was an explanatory note that went out to some of the group or people that were asking. And as soon as this happened, we knew what to do with the other pairs, like the opposing pairs. I like to call it like that, like the Euro, USD, GBP, USD, and all the other USD pairs. Okay, and then dollar, and then metals and energy, and we know how to play those. This is not the time for that. So this is what happened. And now, of course, hey, what type of analyst would I be if I don't tell you what I'm expecting next? Though this has played out, it doesn't mean that it's over for this yet. Remember, We are still bearish for the dollar, just like I was telling my homeboy yesterday when we were having a live session. It's one of the students from our Discord. By the way, guys, if you're not on our Discord, I think you're missing out. Why? Why do I think so? Here's the reason, okay? I'm just going to pause for a minute and explain to you why I think you're missing out. Our Discord was created specifically, 90% specifically to educate, okay? Our motto is this. If you don't know, let me just move this to the side. Let me type it out. That is our motto. Each one teach one, okay? How? You learn a day so you can take it further. How did we come about this? We spent, myself and some of my crew members, we spent thousands on materials and we didn't gain shit. On signal groups and we didn't gain shit. And we kept running from one Discord group to another, from one Telegram group and from one WhatsApp group, all the groups, you just name it. As soon as there's something, okay, something is good, we were there. I was there, and then I met some of my crew there in some of these places. So then I mentored, we came together, and then me and my best friend, we sort of Mali traders. Okay, so that's how it started, and we made the decision that we're going to do it so we can teach. We don't want other people following the same situation like we were. Oh, okay. Imagine having 1,500 for everything, and then you pay the Signal group or some Discord channel 500, and you're trying to learn and you're not really learning. You ask one question, it takes 3 days for you to get answered, and then somebody posts some another analysis, and then you get confused. There is no structural format to your learning. All right, so that is the difference. That's what you get from us, and yeah, we do things very differently, you know. So you are the focus of the group. That is different. We're not there to show you how good we are. We are there to show you how it's done. It's a difference. I can go on about why the things that we're doing right, but this is not the point for the time for it. All right, guys, back at this. Okay, so what I was saying yesterday to one of the mentees is this: we are bearish on the dollar. We're still very bearish. We're in a bearish market. Okay, there's no doubt about that on the weekly time frame. However, I was saying that I am low-key bullish on the dollar. Why? When I mean low-key bullish, that I think we can probably come up slightly to these areas. We have this gap imbalance. Okay, there was no trading at all here. I don't know what the algorithm was doing. It just skipped. I don't know what happened there. It just decided to jump space. All right, go to another dimension or something. And then we came, so we are very, very oversold. And then we came to this area, So now we're consolidating. So it does make sense that we probably consolidate and then go up and then to come lower. So if that is happen, if that is what's going to happen, how low could we go? That is the question for that part. However, what are we doing in the meantime? We are on a sideways market. So around this area, I was like, okay, this market is not going to do much. I'm going on vacation. So I took my family and off we went. Okay, it was an awesome vacation anyway, in case you're wondering. It was lovely. I almost bumped into George Clooney. Nope, I didn't. But he was a neighbor though, where we went to. Point is this. This is what happened. We caught it. Our analysis was right. Caught that trade. Now what? That's the question. Now what? So I think this is what we're looking at. Like I said, I am low-key bullish on the dollar. So let me just put this back so you can see. Remember, this is where we came from. I already showed you how we got here and why we moved from here. And as this happened, we were selling the other USD pairs. If you want to know how we trade these things, please come to our Discord. If not, we can't always demonstrate everything what we do and how we do it on this. Now this lecture is getting over 1 hour, but it's because we're covering a lot of things here. Okay, so we can't always cover everything, but we have the entry patterns and everything, what we look for, what we look at. um, we do that on the Discord. Okay, so if you want to know, if you want to learn, come over there. So that is that. And now this is my doll. Okay, so this is what I'm expecting, and it sort of already, it was already kind of already playing out. So I put this trend line here. Like I said, I just sometimes just put it just to illustrate a trend or something. Okay, where this is a sideways market, this is a crabs market. Okay, technically I should max out something like this, something from around here ish. Saying yeah, or if you like, you can take it all the way up there if you want. Saying we are in a sideways market. Okay, you can identify a sideways market and at the same time identify something else. Where is it? I had it. Where was it? I thought I had this. Yeah. Okay. I'm coming to that in a while. So this is no, Jojo. This is what I'm saying here. So this is what I'm eyeing. This is So if this happen, we don't usually trade the dollar. We don't always. Sometimes we do, but we use it as a compass to trade everything else. Okay, remember that. If you want to be good, if you want to be good in trading, try to understand the dollar. Many a times, dollar might even influence the Bitcoin move. Okay, speaking of Bitcoin, what is it doing? Yeah, let's see how far it goes. So that is for the dollar, and there's a lot of buy side resting above this place. Again, the trend line liquidity, people we say we call this a trend line liquidity. That's but just a bunch of it's just a bunch of BSL. Sometimes it takes a while for me to, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So just a bunch of BSL above is there. This is the main one that sticks out. This is what I would like to see first. And if you go back to our setup here, it lines up exactly inside the breakout. Everything's lining up there. And then here, here, and then here. Okay, here has a lot of other confluences considering this gap right here. This is a full gap, and though it has been wicked up, but I expect more trading into it, in my opinion, for it to be fully balanced. Preferably a candle close above, you know, the body of a candle closing around there. Okay, so that is what I'm expecting for the dollar in the meantime. Meanwhile, let's go back to this mentoring. This is a chart, something we were doing yesterday. I was using for mentorship. So if you look here, again, guys, I'm not a pattern trader. I use it to analyze, to see what retailers are doing. Even ICT himself, he watches some retail traders YouTube video, just sort of like, yeah, you have to be informed. So the first line of defense is understanding your opponent's capability. Okay, and though some people say, oh, retailers, they are our liquidity for smart money traders, I don't really see myself as us against them in that way. I came from retail, so excuse more. I still have some of those gene in me. So my analysis yesterday was this. Okay, first let me take it out. So this was happening, but there were a lot of things to consider. This just probably you looking at this doesn't make sense to you, but I can tell you something. It does make sense. Okay, we are in a downtrend on the 4 hour to 1 hour on a much lower time frame. So we're like sort of like this, and then we're inside this trend. So you just be ping ponging inside this trend. Okay, so trend traders, breakout traders, they will as soon as it break this, they will say, okay, they call it I think buy stop or something, and then they buy here like okay, breakout traders, they're going up and then it came back into this range, and then they got wrecked. But we know what to do and what not to do. Okay, now this is one of the reasons I draw these things out. Some good pattern traders will say, okay, once this it touches this middle line, they're going to long or something. Every time it does that, they're going to long or something. So this is one of the reasons I was just trying to pull this to see what retailers were looking at. But Mali traders, this is what we do. What is this? I'll show you. I'm sorry if you can hear some noise in the background, like a party or something. It's because where I live, well, there's always parties like carnivals. Okay, it's always like this 1 week carnival a couple of times a year, and then they just dancing, and it's really lovely. You see all these uh, South American countries, and you know, coming here doing their thing. Lovely people, love them. Okay, so right in here we have an OT, and then we have a BPR. Okay, right here. So that is why. Let me try to move that. So that is why this is what we were looking at to go long. We're going long on the dollar here, and then going short, selling opposing pairs. The same here, and then once you come here, we do the opposite. Okay, so this is how we roll. This is how Mali does it. Okay, and then we just put that because we're thinking, okay, probably this is what retailers are looking at, and you know, it sort of help put things in perspective, especially when you put it like this. You see it clearly that okay, it's a clear downtrend. Then you know what to do. You know how to trade it. Okay, why this is in a downtrend, sometimes you can find something like this in an uptrend move, so you just have to be aware of your time frame. You have to be aware of your macro bias. What I mean by macro bias, what is your weekly bias, what is your daily bias? Your weekly might be telling you something opposite of what your 8 hour, we don't really trade 8 hours, opposite of what your 4 hour is telling you, which will be in contrast of what your 15 minutes is telling you. So you have to be aware of this. Okay, these other ones are subordinate to the macro time frame. Okay, so you swing the higher time frame, the macro time frame, you know, if you're a long-term trader, and then you scalp the other ones. Okay, or in other words, you can use the higher time frame levels as draw on liquidity, external liquidity, and then the lower time frame levels like 15 minutes, 1 hour as your internal liquidity of take profit and stuff like that, and then you close your trade using a HTFs. Okay, by that I mean higher time frames. So back at it again. Yeah, this is what we're looking at. Okay, and that's how we traded it. And if we go to a much lower time frame, the same thing that I mentioned before here, excuse me, we have OT in there, we have fair value gap in there, we have a breaker, we have a bunch of stuff in here. Everything is fractal. Remember that. What we see here is what we're seeing, similar thing in here. Okay, so you can look for the same thing. Like I said, this is not about entry patterns and whatnot. I'm just giving you analysis of how we do things. So that is for the dollar. Again, let me go back just to as a form of summary what we're looking for, or rather what we're anticipating. Oh no, I have to set up. Yeah, this is what we're anticipating. And now this is a bullish scenario, okay? I have to do it on a daily, so it's more obvious. So this is a for a bullish scenario. For a bearish scenario, you have to answer those questions that I posed before. How low could it go? By the time we break this region, I'll be looking at this area because there's a lot of sell side. As you can see, none of these lows has been taken up. Okay, you can say arguably this one took out those, but I would see this as a, especially we have this gap here, right? This volume imbalance are just only be wicked through a couple of times, and there is one here also. Like I said, I prefer when the candle closes. It's not a recommendation, not that I know of. Okay, so that is the dollar analysis or Dixie analysis. And what more? What more? Well, ES, ES is ES. There was an earlier video that we did earlier today, not that long ago actually, about taking levels. It's just reinforcing our earlier videos of taking levels. So go watch it and you can see how we take the levels of these things. So yeah, what can I say? What is the drawn liquidity on these ones? Well, let's see. Oh. So these are the area that I'm looking at. We have a daily volume imbalance. That is what is illustrated by this VIB, daily volume imbalance, and then it's color coded, so I know where it is. So if I find myself on a lower time frame, I know what that is. And then we have this other one right here. Again, once you watch the earlier video about taking levels, you will understand this, so I'm not going to go deeper into that. So now this has been pumping because yeah, the dollar is consolidating or just doing this meandering around in that level that we analyzed before. So equity and other assets took opportunity to sort of skyrocket 2 days in a row, Thursday, Friday. All right. So um, so right now I see some buy side up here, and then I see potentially this gap up here. Are we going to come up there right now? I don't I don't see why not, at least up here. But up here is a little bit far-fetched, but just be aware of it, which is why we take these levels. Okay, so these ones, this purple and the blue ones, just illustrate our daily level, the weekly level, and the 4-hour level. Again, if you don't know what these levels are or how we take it or what it means, these are our higher time frame levels. Okay, this is what we use in framing our bias, or rather, no, not necessarily our bias, our draw on liquidity. Okay, so if you go to the 4-hour, you can see the main one is measured out, and yeah. So and then we also have, what is it called? What is the advanced extra zones? Let's pull it up. So we have the extra zones right here. Again, if you don't know what these things are, watch our earlier videos of levels taken, ICT levels taken. This is like, see, we create different files for just to keep things in check. So usually, yeah, they're both in two different files. If you open both of them at the same time, just become a little bit too much. So I like to see, because to me they are like they are different levels. So we already feed this gap, and then we have this gap coming up above us. So So the big question is, where is the next area of liquidity? So we have depends on where we where we open tomorrow or later tonight. We have a couple of buy side here. We're already taking sell side here on the daily time frame, higher time frame. We already tapped into this BC. So it's, you can say sell side has been delivered. Okay. So when we're coming back, then I have this IVG. This is a little bit too broad for me, but I just mark it out. And then this one. Then we have this. So just being aware of the areas around above and below prices is what I'm trying to point out here. Okay. So tomorrow or when we open, I will see. Usually I go to a lower time frame and try to hunt for my liquidity. Where are my liquidities? Like I said, there's a couple of liquidity on the buy side. So just looking at this off the back, so this is a major buy side liquidity draw, or rather buy side liquidity, in my opinion. Okay, up here, it's gonna take this one out, take this one out, take this one out. Yeah, it doesn't have to, but I'm just pointing it out there. Okay, sell side, like I said, has been taking this a lot of liquidity here, and then on the sell side, you can say, oh yeah, well, what we have here is the same thing that we have here. Yes, but is it likely to come all the way here now and do that? No. Why? Because OF. Okay, you do that. If you don't know, do that. So order flow is bullish. We're going up, higher, higher. All right. Sorry for that. And for you retailers, you do that. You say you have your touch points. Uh, if you wanted multiple touches, those says so you need multiple touches. I don't know how you guys are gonna view this. Perhaps you could say there is. Let me see. Why am I even doing retail? Oh, yeah, I guess you can say you have an ascending triangle, something like that. So in that case, you'll be doing something like that, like that, like that, like that for breakout traders. And oh, Picasso, come on. You know what? I'm tired. This video is over. Okay, that's that is for the ES, and then the same thing you do for Nasdaq. Okay, so we already took taking the levels also. Let's just go over it a little bit higher time frame. The same thing, we're taking the daily. We've uh, identified the different imbalances that exist. This is already be traded through, so it's irrelevant right now. And at the same time, we have the extra zones. Just have to press this. So yeah, so we have that, and then we have the consequent encroachment, which is one of the extra zones inside a volume imbalance. So this is a strong zone for me. Okay, we have these ones here. Okay, so if ES is to go higher, then potentially in the symmetrical market, Nasdaq and YM is going to follow suit, or is expected to follow suit. I haven't done the levels on this one, that's why it looks crooked. So I have to update all those levels later. Okay, so that's that. I don't have enough time to go over the rest, gold and all those other stuff, so I'm going to do it later, but I'm just going to post it on the Discord again, guys. If you want to know, if you want to get better, see, there's always people already asking questions here, I think, so we're gonna address that later. My home is online. Just who's here with me, and then we're going through this together. So yeah, come to our Discord and see how we mentor people. I mean, we've literally mentored people and that have gone and taken their challenge and they have passed. At least personally, I've mentored like 3 guys that have. I'm still waiting to hear from the third one. So at least 2 that I'm aware of that have passed the challenge, and a lot of new students and people basically that are serious about trading. So yeah, come check us out. All right. I think I've blah blah so much for too long now. I think that's it. Remember this chart. Keep an eye on it. If anything change, yeah, well then we change accordingly. We don't have to get married to our analysis. Don't do that. Just say, oh, it didn't do as I said or as I thought. No, you know control price. You know the algorithm. Okay. Speaking of algorithm, there is a a video, tutorial video mentorship coming later this week or the next week about the macros. Dedicated video or mentorship about macros, how to use it, or what they are, and when to look for them and when to expect them. Okay, it's part of the mentorship program for my students. So if you want to know more about that, you come to the Discord. Okay, guys. Like I said, I blah blah too much enough now. Gosh, I gotta go eat some barbecue at the festival. All right, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share this video. Okay, each one teach one. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.